So we're gonna unveil the totem pole. The totem pole, my dad's gonna talk about it, maybe my brother too. It's not finished. It is gonna be going back to the carver. He's been working on it now for quite some time, and he's quite senior. He's a Squamish Nation carver, so it's taking him a long time. He's hand carving it all and hand painting it all. So he's got the initial design laid down and the painting started, but we're going to be taking it back for him to finish it, which is really nice. So my dad will talk about the carver a little bit. And we have Mary Jo here. She's a shamanic healer, and she's going to do some drumming for us and a little meditation. And she has an eagle feather that we can pass around while she's drumming. And if you have something you'd like to share, like a memory or a thought about my mom, please just say it aloud. We're just here to share. After we're done the drumming and that, we're going to move inside and we can share more stories and have some snacks. And then we're going to have a lunch and we'll talk inside as well. If it had been nicer today, we would have all ate outside and just the whole thing would have been out here, but it's a little wet. It's a West Coast day, which is fitting.
So when Sharron passed away, I don't remember whose idea it was, whether it was Gregor's, mine, or Heather's, but we had the idea that we'd like to have something special for Sharron. And I talked to Gregor, who was up working at a fish camp in Hackeye Pass at that time. And I said we were thinking of making a pole. And I think I asked him if he knew where we get a nice piece of wood or some driftwood or something to do something for Sharron. You know, because we spent so many years fishing up in that country. And he said, well, he was working with a guy called John Sallow, who we'd known from when we lived in Sointula. And John told me, he says, I got this nice piece of yellow cedar that I've had in my boat shop for 12 years, drying and aging. Maybe you could use that. Oh, what a great idea. So anyhow, he got it to Gregor. Gregor got it on the fish camp. And when they pack up the fish camps in the winter, they tow the barge down to the Fraser River, so we went over there and picked it up. And Gregor also knew this great carver called Al Natral. He's a renowned carver from the Squamish Nation, so we went to his house and we explained what we'd like for him to do. Some of this, you know, we're not sure, but we'd like some kind of memorial pole for my wife Sharron. And he said, well, you know, I could kind of do this and I could kind of do that. And I said, you know what, you're the expert, we'll just leave it up to you. And so this was probably 6 or 7 months ago, but Al's getting on in years and his hands are sore, and it takes good work takes a while, right? So he knew our deadline and he worked as hard as he could, but he couldn't make it. I says, listen, don't sweat it. I don't want you to ruin it or prostitute the art just because we have some set dates. I says, if I have to get it partially finished and bring it home and then bring it back to you and you can finish it, then I'll do that. So graciously, Al worked his butt off for the last week or two trying to get it done, and here's what he's got done so far there.
Wow. Oh, wow. Very nice.
So the bottom of it's the killer whale, and then Heather had asked for a dragonfly, but I don't know.
Or a hummingbird.
Or a hummingbird, I don't know if that was conveyed, and this is obviously an eagle or something. And he says there's going to be a carving of a native lady on here, and then you can see this side's already finished, and this side's just sketched in. He has some carving and stuff to do there. And he has some more painting to do, right? Like the other side of this isn't painted yet. And some stuff to do, but I think he's done a fantastic job. And this is
Where it came from then.
piece of abalone that we gave him from a shell that Sharron picked up.
Perfect.
Off the beach when we used to go abalone hunting up there. So, you know, that's beautiful. It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Pretty happy with it, right?
So really, without Gregor knowing the carver and getting us the wood, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So we're very, very fortunate for that.
Yeah.
And our idea is that it's going to be in the garden, roughly where the planter is behind my dad. We're going to build a base there, and hopefully it'll sit there, or possibly right here searching in at us.
Yeah.
Our other option is my mom had one place, and one place only, she liked to sit in this yard. And when other people would sit in her seat, even me, she'd come along and say, "You're in my chair." And I'd say, like, "This is everybody's chair." And she'd say, "That's my seat." And it was, like, literally right where the camera is. That was her seat.
Yeah.
Her chair sat there. And it was the same as all the rest of the chairs, but she liked to sit right there.
Okay.
So because he's doing some carving on the back, we weren't sure. But if it fits, we may put it right where she always used to sit, because she thought that that should just be her seat.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
Oh yeah, and on the back of the wings, he's going to carve Sharon's name, Sharron Campbell, and then he's also going to put, her date of birth and her date of passing, and on the other side he's going to carve his name and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's nice.
And my dad does have later, like as you come through and you wander through their house, like all the native paintings and stuff. So like for years, Mom and I used to go to this painter and we'd like, he lived in Nanaimo and we'd go down and it'd be like his birthday or something. And would you buy the people who have everything? We'd be like, okay, we got to give him a new painting. So we'd find a new painting. And the one year when it first started is we got him to paint their fishing boats on a map of Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
So as you wander through my dad's house today, take a look at all the stuff you see around, because all that stuff brought back to like what they kind of feel like was their heritage. Gregor was born in Alert Bay, for those who don't know that. So it's just like a real connection for us. A lot of people, when there's a passing in a family, this isn't your typical thing. You might go to a church if you're religious, but like our belief was always kind of like, the native West Coast. We're closest to that feeling. We're all about like the land and where we come from and being outside. And all of those of you who know my mom, she was super strong and independent, and she always led her own path. I find that some of the organizations, they're more followers, and my mom wasn't a follower. None of us have been raised to be followers. We've always been raised to kind of build our own path and go our own way. And I think that relates to why we're so in tune with Mother Nature, and we feel comfortable in the forest and out in the ocean, and we don't really like being inside. My happy place is always when I'm out in the wilderness, and I think with Gregor and my dad too. So this is kind of our thing. Today won't be a set thing. We had a thing, for those of you who don't know, in Birch Bay, and we got together a lot of their American friends down there from the park, and in reality a lot of them are Canadian friends, but that's their home away from home. And ever since my mom was forced to move over to the city, that was her place, because when they went down there, it felt like being in Qualicum with being right at the beach. She loved to be social, and like when your neighbors, 10 feet away and 10 feet away, and they all get together every day and have snacks and drinks and, live life to the fullest. Yeah, and the cats. My mom took in strays no matter where she went.
Oh, took in me?
Stray people. Right? The bigger we can build our family, the more. And as everyone's come today, I'm sure you get that feeling. Like when you show up at family's house, they're not like, let me get you a drink, let me do this. It's like, help yourself. So when you come here, don't ever feel neglected by me, but like I really, we feel like you're our family. So we just expect you to go in and get a drink and help yourself, right? So thank you everyone for coming. And Mary Jo's going to do some drumming for us, and she has a feather stick, so if you'd like to gather in closer, if you have a few words to say, if you just want to take some quiet time for yourself and enjoy the moment. If you'd like to say a little bit about your background and what you are, that would be nice for everyone.
I actually am Métis, but I don't have my card. My mom has a card. It's on my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
I started doing healing work about 7 years ago, and been doing shamanism the last 4 years, really practicing. I really believe in healing and connecting with Mother Earth, with the directions, with all the spirit animals, spirit guides. I believe there's more to life, when we pass. Energy, the spirits are with us. And I do believe the healing that I do bring, it really is really powerful in healing. A lot of times you'll actually feel loved ones around you while I'm doing the drumming, and you'll actually hear neat things in my drum. So that's why I really like the meditation part when I'm doing the healing, is because you can get in that trance when I'm doing the drumming, because the sound of the drum really brings you to that place of healing. I do really feel your mom around. I felt her right away when I came. I got goosebumps all over her. So, she's with you, and she's very happy right now.
Yeah, thank you.
So, I'm going to drum. I'm going to call on the directions. And if there's anything you want to even say or think, reflecting her while I'm drumming, you can say it, or you can just, think about her and maybe just pass the feather around as I'm drumming. So
I'll start once you start drumming.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow the directions. I'm gonna go spirit of the east for the eagle. Spirit of the south for the coyote. Spirit of the west for the bear. Spirit of the north for the buffalo. Mother Earth. And Father Sky. I want you to just take a moment and think about Sharron.
looked, she had this twinkle in her eye. It was like mischievous or something. Her dad had it too, right? Bill Young, right? It's like, you never knew quite what to expect, right? But she's so beautiful. Yeah, she's still beautiful.
I'm just very blessed that we were reconnected together after 35 years and how it all happened and everything. And today being blessed, reuniting with Shirley has really meant a lot. So the family has all come together and feel so
Can I speak about Carol before she speaks? Carol?
Rhonda?
Rhonda's her last name's Carol. She's one of Sharon's oldest friends because they grew up in Horseshoe Bay together when I think there was 2 girls and 12 boys. That was it. There was about 50 people living in that town, right? Yeah.
Your best friend.
She led the way. It was great story. Forever.
You're forever her best friend.
The first time I met Sharron, I think it was my 13th birthday, and she brought Heather roller skating at the roller rink, and she was wearing a Hawaiian style dress, and she had a real flower in her hair, and I thought, what a cool lady. I never met anybody who actually like really wore flowers in their hair. So I just thought that was the coolest thing. And of course, being at your house and her love of all the darn cats. And yeah, just her cheerfulness and her willingness to welcome everybody. And we were always there. So,
I've known Matt and Heather for pretty much half my life now. And we first met Sharron and Al while Brandy and I were first dating in Victoria. And we've done everything together. We've had Christmases and Easters and Halloweens galore and family dinners and Easters. It's made up a lifetime of memories, and so she's really a part of us and who we are. So I thank you for sharing our life together.
That's all of you.
I always felt welcomed by Sharon as a fellow free spirit. I felt that we had a special kind of bond, and the mischievous look in her eye was always what kept me smiling around her. And her sense of humor, whenever I'd introduce her to my latest man, she always had something just wonderful to say. And I will always miss her presence here.
I must say quickly that Sam was my mom's kindred spirit. My mom was first and almost always a hippie at heart, and Sam really brought that back into her life when Sam became my friend. So I must say, Sam, I have something for you today. Don't let me forget. My mom had a pair of hippie shorts. And these hippie shorts, she would always say to me, Sam would love these, but they don't look good on me. They don't look right anymore. If anyone can pull these off, it's Sam. So I have the shorts upstairs for you. And they're tie-dye shorts. I'll pull them out later. But you were my mom's hippie spirit in a younger version. And I think she'd love to hear your stories because she could live vicariously through you. Yeah. Because really, you know, she's been with my dad since she was 14. So to get to hear Sam's stories of her adventures and what's happening in her life always made that twinkle a little brighter.
Okay, I don't know what to say, but I'm Sharon's sister. Sharon was my best friend, and I've known her the longest of anybody here. We grew up in the bush, so being close to nature, the woods and the beach are part of her life. And Sharon and I, we both have cheekiness, which is true. It came from our dad.
And I miss that in her because she was the only one that I could really laugh with. Okay? So I miss that. And we've gone through a lot of things, through a lot of sad times, a lot of tears in our growing up with our kids and our husbands. And we were each other's best friends. And I miss her, and there's not a day goes by that I don't.
She's still laughing with you, Annie Shirley.
Oh yeah. I'll get
She
the
is.
cheek back sometime.
Can I
I've
share-
lost my laugh.
I thought about this recently because we were talking about age and like, so I'm 42 now, but when my aunt turned 40, my mom thought the funniest thing to do would be to drag my aunt all around town. So she hired this little old farrier named Bill Banks, and she got a pony and a horse-drawn carriage, and she put my aunt in it, and then she wrote on the back, 40 is sporty, and sent them on their way, and he rode her all through Parksville. So my mom always had that little, like, their thing that they share, it is, right? Their dad was like the most hysterical grandpa you could ever ask for. My fondest memory would always be of him in like his red PJs with the flap and doing monkey ears, and like there's always laughter too.
That's right.
She's always laughing with you. She's not gone.
I'm
She's
trying
right
to
with
get
you.
mine back.
You'll get it back. It takes
There,
time.
but
She was always welcoming. She was another mom for me for a long time. She welcomed my kids as her own, and it was awesome, and I miss her and I loved her.
Thank you, Jen.
I can't do it. No, sure you can.
Come on, Uncle Jim.
Do it, Jim. Here, you want me to take that?
Well, my recollections of Sharron are her cheekiness and always a can of beer, and this look that she'd give to Al of total incredulity at what he's just said. It was just like this: "Who are you and what world are you from?" And she wouldn't say it; she just looked, and you knew damn well what she was thinking. Alrighty, so who's next here? Gregor, come on over here and do some on him.
There's lots of room if anybody wants to squeeze in too.
My mom. I had to share my mom with all of you. It wasn't just my mom, she was everybody's mom. Miss you dearly.
and you did a
Thanks,
nice video for her, right? For her birthday, right?
That love never goes away.
So my Auntie Sharron, she was hysterical. One of the funniest people I got to have in my family. I loved it. She made me a shirt when I was little that said "Wee Willie Wetwell." Scarred me for life. I love it. She was the funny one. I'm gonna miss her.
I'm Wanda's son, and her house is still in Horseshoe Bay that she grew up in, up on the hill.
Is it still there?
It's quite a nice house. Up on the cliffs on Nelson.
Still there? Yeah. Wow. I'm not sure what to say about my Auntie Sharon. I love her and miss her a lot. So many great memories of her.
I just knew Sharron for a short period of time, but I knew she was this light in her eyes whenever I got to talk to her, and she was super welcoming and such a wonderful person, so very sad.
I know Sharron from Birch Bay. You know, I walked by there walking my dog. She was the only one that loved my dog. So I remember.
I remember Sharron meeting Al through the film industry, so I was there when the kids were little, watched them grow up, and just being around their Sharron and her just flamboyant, loud, happy, sparkly personality was just good for my soul, and I miss her.
This will be hard.
Everybody misses Sharron here. She's like my second mother.
I can stand with you.
When Al and Sharron let me join their family and give them another son and marry Heather, it was like a new beginning for me. Had lots of times with Sharron, especially in this backyard, and yeah, her favorite place was to sit there and piss Heather off with smoking her cigarette so it would come right up into our place. So those were some actually good times that I remember, even though that drove her nuts. And coming home to Al and Sharron having their squabbles in the backyard as soon as I walked onto the deck. Felt like I never left work.
Listening to their music in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear some of that later on.
How about we gonna get upset? I'll miss our talks, and I'll forever feel her kind heart through her daughter. Yeah. And I was blessed for the short time she did impact my life.
Cheryl and Ed have like just really, since my mom's passing, been there like no one else. So
I love you and we.
they make sure to like take my dad out for dinner during the week sometimes, and you know, just like Ed takes my dad crabbing and fishing, and you know, just keeping us busy, and it's just. We're so grateful for it.
Your family that we got to pick.
Yeah, you're our family too.
I guess pretty much the only thing I can say, I just thought it was a little weird how she always had the problem with the bee in the beer. Always had her beer covered, make sure no bee gets in the beer.
Well, pass it on.
Well, what can we say
Brian,
about Sharron?
come on.
There we go. Always full of laughs, wasn't she, Sharron? Right. Always had a smile on her face.
Yep.
She's loving this way, everybody.
Yep. Well, you should tell another story.
Which one?
Tell the story about how she reconnected in Vegas.
Oh, well, we know the person to tell this story. Come on.
There we go.
Maureen loves this one.
We have a story.
Come on,
quickly
we have a
to tell.
storyteller.
It's a great story, right?
It's a great story. It can last for hours.
I knew Sharron when I was a little girl, and I used to play with her hair, so it was obvious I was going to be a hairdresser, still am. So as our elders pass on, my mom, her mom, sisters, you lose connection with your cousins. Don't know where to find them. So I'm with Brian, we're down in Vegas, we have a house down there, and it's common for friends to be in Vegas, come on over, see the house, have a drink.
We were there for my mom's 60th birthday, and I just have to say it was our first family vacation with Matt that we had ever taken. And my best friend Kim in the States was with us. So, yeah.
So anyways, Al and Sharron and what was his name? With you? Doug Dale came down to the house. We're polite. Come see the house, have a drink. We're sitting outside. Brian and out there having a drink, and Sharron and I are talking women talk, eh? It's like, where'd you grow up? What school did you go to? Blah, blah, blah. I said I was born and raised in North Van, and how about you? And she goes, oh, West Van. And I said, West Van? I have an aunt that lived in West Van, and she had the little coffee shop in front of the ferry terminal. It was the only one you could get coffee. And Al's going, what was your aunt's name? And I said, Betty Young. He said the F-bomb. He goes, holy That's Sharon's mother. Well, we're up and screaming, and Brian's going, what is going on here? I said, this is my cousin that I have not seen in 35 years, that we connected, that Brian's been friends with his family for over 30. And so we reconnected.
Small world.
Very small world.
Yeah.
I think we should go inside.
We're gonna go inside now, yeah.
Sharon, help us.
She is, that's why I got her.
This is her joke.
Oh no.